Welcome back to another breakdown on the Sweet Science of Fighting YouTube channel. James DeLacy here. So today I have an MMA one for you. Gilbert Burns, his 15-minute of hell. This was about a year ago. I remember actually watching this about a year ago too, with his UFC circuit. So I'm going to break this thing down and let me get to it first. So I think this is 13 exercises done in a circuit, done multiple rounds. I actually had someone comment on a previous video asking me to break down Gilbert Burns and IHP. Obviously, this IHP Performance Center seems to be relatively well known with MMA if people are asking for it. So, again, nothing against coaches, fighters, anything like that. It's more of just giving my opinion based on experiences, personal preference, all that kind of stuff. I have to make inferences because I don't know when this is, I don't know how the whole training week looks, etc. So this is just to give you an idea of what. So 30-second rounds with the rest between, and 13 exercises. So I'll play you through the circuit just quickly so we know, and then I'll run into some of my thoughts around it. So I know they start with the Versa Climber. So 30-second hard sprint on the Versa Climber. So that's station 1. And then into a sled push, followed by a sled pull pretending to dig for underhooks. So the straps around the arms to fatigue the shoulders and arms. And then after that, into some pad work. Heavy bag rotations. If you have a heavy bag, you should do this exercise. This is a really good one for MMA and grapplers. Obviously, if it's really, really heavy, it's damn hard, but this is a good one definitely to use. These are some very poorly performed push-ups. No wonder you can get to 60 when you're doing quarter reps there. Then he's up. And then he's on to... I don't even know what this machine is, but it's like some kind of resisted push-pull. Into more pad work, onto a 15-second air bike sprint, into some sprawl, into uppercut or certain punches. That'd be pretty brutal. And then into a banded isometric, looks like just pretending like he's got the back, sinking in rear naked chokes, and holding that. So that's the entire circuit, it seems. So 13 station circuit, going through a bunch of different stuff that is probably very, very grueling. Now, I don't know if this is a regular thing. It sounds like from what they were saying in the beginning, this is like they do it once as part of the fight preparation every time, which, cool, there's definitely a time and place for stuff like this. Sometimes it's like some fighters just thrive on this hard work and just being pushed to a limit, and there is some value to it. There definitely is some value to it, just being able to know how hard you can really push when you're feeling tired, that you can keep going, etc. So there's value in doing stuff like that. In terms of if you're doing this, say this wasn't a one-off and this was done, every week as part of the training, or similar things were done as part of training, I think that you're lacking in a lot of different things when you're doing something like this. So at this part of a fight camp, I'm assuming they're talking about they're preparing for a fight here. So let's just say that, 4 to 8 weeks out, whatever it is. The main goals you're trying to develop here is the ability to repeat high-intensity efforts. That is the name of the game within combat sports. And a high-intensity effort is anything like throwing power combinations, shots, sweeps, takedowns, etc. And being able to do that repeatedly, and especially within MMA. And to be able to do that repeatedly, there's a few things you need to do. First, you need to set that foundation outside of camp. So I don't know what he's done outside of camp. He might have already done that, but that can be things like you're doing your low-level work, low intensity aerobic style work, but you're also doing your hard sprint training, and that can be off-feet cardio, hitting the bag pads, whatever. You're doing like 6 to 10 seconds, maximum intensity, and you're getting maximum rest, like 2 to 3 minutes of rest. So you're maintaining that power output. You bring that rest down depending on where you are in your training cycle, and again, that's maintaining a high quality during the sets. Now the problem with circuits like this is you don't get that intensity, you don't get that quality. Yes, it's hard and it looks hard, but you're not getting maximum outputs on anything because it's too fatiguing in that time. So you're really kind of sitting in this middle zone of kind of more high intensity aerobic work versus being able to repeat high intensity efforts, or just put it really basic, like repeat power. And to be able to do that, you need to do exercises that are eliciting peak power, so you can repeat it over and over again and maintain the same quality throughout the circuit. So this is one thing where circuits like this kind of don't give you that ability. Second thing is the rest is so short between exercises. Again, you're not going to repeat that same quality. So instead of putting a bunch of random exercises together to make something hard, you want to pick things that are going to let you elicit high power outputs. And that could be things like throwing power combinations on a bag or pads. Someone's always doing that. It could be using things like the air bike and versa climber. Those are good exercises you can use to do your sprints, etc. But you want to be able to maintain that high intensity effort throughout each set and rep. The problem when you have exercises, for example, like this in there, there's no high intensity element to this. And you're just doing work for doing work, in my opinion. So if you're like this far into a fight camp, maybe you're doing things that are shorter rests, sure, but they have to elicit their power output. So it could be, let's just take the air bike there, for example. Maybe you're doing 20 to 30 second air bike sprints, kind of like he's doing on this, and you're doing maybe, I don't know, 40 to 60 seconds of rest. You want the rest to be, okay, you don't always want it to be, but one of the variables you can do is have slightly longer rests so you can maintain that power output. And I think you're going to be better off doing something like that versus going through a grueling circuit where it's kind of in this, it's not intense enough where you're getting high outputs. It's not low enough where it's not fatiguing. You're just in this middle ground of just doing work. And I think a lot of fighters fall into that category of kind of just doing work rather than trying to improve something in particular. So that's just my thoughts on this particular circuit. Again, if this is kind of like a one-off thing and this is almost like ritualistic now going into a fight, yeah, like I fully get it. Like some athletes kind of just need to feel this and they complete this and they go, okay, I'm definitely ready because this is how I felt doing this circuit versus last time, etc. So there is some value to doing something like this. I just think you might be better off trying to develop that ability to repeat the high intensity efforts within your training. And there's many ways you can go about that. So I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of the circuit. I'll see if I can find some more within MMA and things, but make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.